All right, I'm going to try this. We'll see how it goes. Do a little live stream today and Sunday while football's on in the background. Fantasy team is doing okay. And we're going to be making a little farfalle and meatballs. So let me get the comments on so I can see if anybody wants to comment. I'm definitely going to need some help. So as you guys start lining up, I defrosted the meat. By putting some in cold water. Shit. So the water got in there. See, this is what the problem with doing it live. I got to strain it. Hold on. So I'm going to be making farfalle and meatballs. The meat is 3 meats: beef, pork, and veal. I try to get it pre-made when I can from the butcher or from the store. So I'm gonna go with 3 meats. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So I'm gonna go with 3 meats on the meatballs. Hold on. Okay. So, and then if anybody has any other recipes or anything want to give me, let me know. Maybe let's get a little mob talk as well. Yesterday did a live on the rise and fall of Totorina. As you guys, most of you know who know the channel, the Salvo Arena will be out shortly, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. All right, so first I'm going to start with the onions. I don't really measure, so first onions. I chop them up beforehand. I'm gonna leave some for the when I make the sauce. Let me get the garlic going. Put some garlic in. Okay. I'm gonna do. I don't like sea salt for meatballs. Some people do. I just go with old-fashioned regular table salt. A little bit of that. I love black pepper. I put black pepper in as well. Most people, I think, do. Put a little bit in there. Ooh. See, I always put too much black pepper in. I always put way too much black pepper in. I can get this back in there because I poured friggin' way too much. Okay. Let me see. Let me get this glove off. I'll be glove in a second. I need 2 eggs for this amount of meat. Like I said, if you guys got any questions while we're going, not about cooking, say no nothing, but if you got questions about the show or got questions about anything, about any of the interviews or anything, I figured this would be a good time to chat. Hey, David. Whoa, the glove went. I know. Yes. Yeah, it's my wife's glove. She keeps them for cooking and doing other stuff. So they don't really fit me too well. All right. So I got that. And I'm going to put the breadcrumbs in. I do want to ask you guys, I sometimes fry them and then bake them or just bake them. What do you guys suggest or what do you guys want to see? All right. So now I got this in there. Got the breadcrumbs. And now I'm going to start mixing it up. If anybody wants to jump in. Hey, Paisan, how are you? Just make a little farfalle and meatballs. If anybody wants to jump in, this is an open forum. All right. I'm not going to start boiling the water yet because the meatballs for me at least take about a half hour to cook. Okay. These gloves are my wife's gloves. As you could tell, I kind of get grossed out about the texture, about mixing them up. Jeff Swig. George manages the community board. He lives in the UK. on one of the posts, roast George a little bit. And I'm assuming you also are a troll account. Okay. So let me mix this up. Sometimes I always like kind of screw up like the mixture, so sometimes I'll have to add like I think I need more what's it called? Breadcrumbs. So I'm getting that going now. Again, anybody's welcome to jump in, just hit the link. Any suggestions, anything you think I should add and or take away. Kind of too late for the meatballs, but hold on. See, the breadcrumbs work as the binder, as you guys know. And sometimes when they make it, I don't put enough in. So one thing I don't put enough in. But I don't like to put too much breadcrumbs in. Some people put crackers, like Ritz crackers, to bind and to give it a little flavor. Some people put regular crackers. In Italy, what my family does is they actually harden the bread and then use the actual bread crumbs. Do you do me a favor, babe?
Yeah.
You need like a. I'm gonna fry them. Yeah, give me the frying pan, babe. All right, so I'm gonna fry these.
You want to put them in the oven?
Nope, I'm not a troll. You asked if they were powerful, and then deleted it. Hold on, I gotta. It's hovering over it. This is hard to do. Hold on. Fuck it. I'm just gonna man up. Not use gloves. Okay. Nope, I'm not a troll. If they were powerful and then deleted it, so there's your answer. George is from the UK. George handles that. He's the one who handles the day-to-day of the channel. He's killing it. This kid can do no wrong. If there's bumps or bruises with him, just say, hey, George, and ask him. My wife is Calabrian. She makes the gravy, then just simmer the meatballs for a couple hours. Yeah, so my mother would get up at like 7 a.m. when she was alive and well and start making the sauce, the ragu, and would let it simmer, let it boil. She would make the meatballs. God, because I would always sleep in when I was a kid. I think she would fry them a little bit, but they're still not cooked. And then they actually would cook in the ragu, in the sauce, so it came out beautifully. So you kind of had the fats from the meats help with the sauce, and then you do that as well. So Big Bones, it's 2022. I'm trying to keep as much culture as I can alive without going crazy. But nevertheless, I'm gonna fry these.
Do you want to fry them?
Yeah, please. I'm gonna fry these and then bake them. I'm gonna fry them and then bake them. Some people just fry. I don't know how you get the centers. I don't know if Tommy Stiggs cooks a little bit. So I'm gonna heat up the pan. I can move it over like this. Okay. Got the onions in there. Yeah. Good luck. Put the olive oil. Okay. So I'm gonna need the tongs. Where are they? I always get 2 sets of tongs, so I always screw this up. Let me see. Yes, nice and tender. Yeah. All right. Move the olive oil around and let it cook off a little bit. All right. I'll get the. I'm not gonna do the boiling water yet. So it's gonna be farfalle and meatballs. I always like to use barilla if possible. The number one pasta in Italy, as far as I'm concerned. All right. So meatball number one. Okay, so make them obviously. Try to roll them up. And I just do them right. I just put them in. A lot of people put them like rolling before, get them prepped. I know I should probably do that. I don't know if Teresa Murphy's watching. She could probably give me some recommendations. Let me just get this good. Still not finding as much as I would like. But nevertheless, let's see what I can do. Okay. Second meatball. I get these meatballs a little bit bigger. I don't want the spacious using the pan. Okay. Not binding as well as I would like. 2 eggs, I'm sure, is more than enough, so I don't think it's too much eggs. Again, I don't know if it's enough. Enough breadcrumbs, to be honest. Okay. Anybody wants to jump in, grab the link. Chop it up a little bit. Cook a little Cosa Nostra on a Sunday while we're making our 3 meatballs. So it's veal, pork, and beef. Okay, so by the time I'm done doing the kind of first batch, the initials should be good, should be ready for a turnover. I'm also going to preheat the oven. Anybody who's Spanish and Italian, you always check the oven first because there's usually pots in there, and the Spanish people put oil in there. Sure as shit. Some oil. All right, my wife's Ecuadorian, if you're wondering. All right. Bake. Let it go 500. Start. So I'm preheating the oven. These are cooking nicely. A little big than normal, but that's okay. Okay. And turn that over. The good thing is if you cook them right, they'll kind of bind by the cooking. You just got to turn them over correctly. I used to use a spatula and I'd always screw it up. So now I'm just using a pair of tongs. I also have the flame really high, which I need to lower. The oil's getting all over the place. Okay. I always screw up one. Not going to be a little screwed up. Okay, so successfully turn them over. They're cooking nicely. I got that going. My personal opinion, when I bake them, I like to cook them in glass. So I'll do like a glass pan. Oh yeah, she also, I love her to death. She'll probably want to cleaning up, not because we have a patriarchy in this house. It's because she's a neat freak and I don't clean good enough. All right, so what I do in the pan when I bake it, I put a little olive oil in. I also put a little salt just to have it like a little base. So it makes it a little saltier. And I'll cook them for, I try to preheat to 500, and then I'll cook them for like another 12 to 15 minutes after they boil. Let me just do a slight turn. So maybe get the sides. The sides are tough because, as you know, they're round. When both are cooked, it's hard to get the sides. But what I'll do is I'll stand them up next to the end. Not any old school technique. It's just out of pure necessity because I hate seeing any pink or very little pink when I go to bake them. Ow! That hurt. When I go to make them. All right. This is going to be rough. This is going to be more like hamburgers. I made them too big. That's fine. I love how you get like the meat sauce. Like it starts to emanate fats that come from the pork, from the beef. So I'm doing that there. The farfalle, like I said, once I start baking them, then I'll do the farfalle. I like to cook my pasta for 7 minutes. If I'm not eating with the kids, with my older kids, what I'll do is I'll make it regular, but if it's us, I'll make it al dente. Al dente is a little healthier. We'll try to find a nice libation to have with this. Let me see if I have any wine. I don't have any wine, believe it or not. I stopped drinking. For those that know, everybody thought I was a big lush. Since I had the kid, I have very limited alcohol activity. Maybe I break a little Blanton's, a little special occasion, a little bit of a bourbon as we cook. Okay, so this is cooking nicely. One of them is a little screwed up. Gonna try to salvage it. Okay. I gotta get the sauce going. Give me 1 second, everybody. Like Big Bone said earlier, I probably should have had the sauce already going, but I'm going to start that now. The sauce is our homemade sauce we make every year. We make it every 2 years, so we just make it in August, so it's still super fresh. It's still super great. All right. Okay. So in the sauce, a little olive oil on the pan. Let that go. I'll open this up. My brother-in-law does all the jarring. He's like 6 foot something. Usually hard to open. I guess he took it easy on me this year. And then they're just gonna pop this open. Yikes. This is why she hates when I cook. Sauce is already on the wall. It's all right. I'm having a good time. So I'm just moving these a little bit. Get some of the spots that are not cooked. Anybody who wants to give me suggestions or want to share some of their recipes as to what they're doing, always welcome. Okay. I don't have a ton of onions here, but I got enough. I put a little bit of onion for the pan. As that starts to go. Now, if you make homemade sauce out there, you'll know this. Homemade sauce is very bland. It's only 3 ingredients. It's basil, tomato, and salt, nothing else. You need a base because it's always easier to add. You can always add. You can't always take away. So I'm gonna put the sauce in here. Okay. I'm cheap. I don't like to lose any sauce. I know this is a little vertigonio, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I mix it up just to get every last bit. Okay. So I'm gonna use a separate spoon to get the sauce going. I'm gonna test it just to make sure. Okay. So although remember they put salt in the whole vat, if you will, so it doesn't always evenly distribute. So it does a little bit more sauce. You got some good lemons for this test. Did Ray Romano? Yeah. So I don't have Parmesan cheese. I'm supposed to put it in. I typically do. I don't have it. It just typically when I went to BJ's and stuff, I did a shopping here, and I just forgot it. To be really honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little salt. Okay. So I grew up with a lot of Sicilians. I'm going to do something that's going to piss some of you guys off. I'm just going to put a splash of sugar, okay? I know you guys don't like it. The Napolitans, the Calabrese, but the Sicilians know they know. I'm gonna put a little sugar in the sauce. I do it to cut the acidity. Okay, don't get on me. I know there's only 10 people here, but eight of you are judging me. I can tell. I can feel it through the StreamYard. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay. Did you put your hand in it like my mom with the Sopranos? Oh, there's old timers. They had no nerve endings. Their mother had no nerve endings, so she could just pick up like a meatball from the hot oil, and it didn't matter. Like there was just no nerve endings. All right, so I'm cooking the sauce. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar. Ooh, controversy. I'm gonna say the NBA doesn't know how to cook, which I'm learning, but some stuff I do know how to make. It was a pretty thick yield this year for the sauce because the tomatoes were not great, so we had to like throw out probably about 20% of them. Like meaning like get to cut a piece out, so 20% was discarded. So as a result, you kind of had a higher yield. So as a result, it made thicker sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna start lining up the meatballs. Like I said, my father used to put a lot of onions in his meatballs. The opposite of my mom did. He cooked well as well, and he cooked differently than my mom. My mother was a better cook, but he was still pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna lay these out. Lady, one's like a hamburger. These are more like football meatballs, I guess, in honor of Sunday. Hey, I'm gonna cook this one here. Okay. So now we're preheated to 385. I'm gonna put this in. All right, 222. That's easy to remember. So about 12 minutes. Not all tomatoes are acidic. I know. I just for some reason Jersey tomatoes, and I think you're from Jersey. I don't mean to dox you. I think are more acidic, especially when there's more rain. Just my thought, my opinion. Let me lower this. Okay. Okay. Looks like a war zone. My wife's gonna kill me. All right, the squeeze. See you soon. All right. So now I'll make these a little smaller because I have more room. What I'll do is I'll probably cook these all in the fryer. And then what I'll do is I'll dump them in the sauce to kind of get, like Big Bone said, kind of get that effect by letting them simmer. This is 3 meats if you just joined us. Veal, beef, and pork. I use breadcrumbs instead of crackers. And crackers is Italian American thing, to be honest with you. It wasn't an Italian thing. Okay. Okay, the sauce is cooking nicely. Do my last meatball. Okay. Drop that in. Okay. Okay, so that's cooking there. The pasta's cooking. We lower that a little bit. So I have a little time on that. I'm gonna get the water going. Okay. Oops. I don't want to cook on that one, too close to the computer. So I'm gonna cook on the back burner. Some water. I don't put oil in the water. Those people that do that drive me insane. Just some salt. So let's just show you the setup right now. We got the water gonna start to boil. We have the salsa, not gravy. Mike DeLeonardo is watching. It's not gravy. And then we have the meatballs going. And we have the meatballs going well in there. They almost look cooked. That's 3 minutes in, but I'm gonna give them a few more minutes. I might even put them there as well. The baked ones once they're cooked. I love it when it cooks in the sauce. even though I started the pasta now, going to take a few minutes to boil, about 7 minutes to cook. I let it sit for a little bit. You'll see I actually put a little butter in there. Then I put a little oil in there. I mix it up, put a little sauce, mix it up, and then I serve it. Heard the way. Yeah, I just think they're perfect. Tomato, a little acidic. That's what's happened. Okay. Yeah, I'm using my laptop, so I gotta increase that flame. Sorry. So now that's raised. Okay. This one, that's all over the place. You know what I do when I screw up on the meatballs too much? I'll make bolognese sauce. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, let me turn these over. Drop comments below. Do you like the fire meatballs? Do you like to bake them? Do you like both? Some people, and I don't know how you do it, they make it all in the sauce, I heard. Like for hours. But I don't know how it doesn't break up. That's one thing I don't know. Your grandmother, your nonna, your mom's still alive, asking questions now. There's a million things I would love to ask you that I did. The brand, Jersey Fresh, delicious script pizza, cook not too long. I'll check it out. Jersey Fresh Crush, cool. Yeah, I don't use tomato paste for this, and I would use, like, if I wasn't making. Oh shit! Oh Jesus Christ! Really? That's why I can't leave you alone. Okay, so now I gotta let the sauce simmer. Let that lower a little bit. I said there's a lot going on. I don't know why that's clicking. I might have to switch. I got the meatballs going. I got the sauce going. It's the middle one. That's weird. Okay. I'm gonna switch burners, I think, for the sauce. I don't need the big one anymore. I'm gonna put it on the middle. Oops. Okay. To bring it like kind of to a similar. I don't want to overcook the sauce either. Oh my God, it's so good. Hey, Big G, I'm tasting your sauce. Don't worry, I didn't take your jar. Your jar's on the way. All right, let's. So Big G, I'm making some farfalle pasta with 3 meatballs, pork, veal, and beef, and I have some meatballs baking in the that I fried up. All right, these are ready to go. They cook quick. Okay. So now I'm gonna take big bones and bites and cook it in. Ooh, this is hot. E caldo, e caldo, e caldo. Woo. Okay. Cancel them. Okay. So now the meatballs are pretty much ready to go, but I'm going to cook them in the sauce to help them cook a little bit more in the sauce, and it also helps the flavor and texture of the sauce. Like I said, if you screw it up, you just make some bolognese. Okay. Let me move these around a little bit. A little more. Come on. Okay. You lower that a little bit. Okay. So you guys see what's going on. So water is still going. Water gonna take a while. The beef for the meat is cooking in the sauce. Like I said, if we had the old school hours like my mother did, She would get up at 7 a.m., start on the sauce, make the meatballs, and the meatballs would sit in there and cook for at least 5 hours. I am going to taste the meatball. I don't always put veal in my sauce. I don't always put it in, but when I do, I like the softness of it. I think it makes it nice. Well, Big G, next time when you finally get your jar, maybe we can do a remote session. Ooh, this is turned up. Okay, let's cook a little more. Okay. So, got some big interviews coming up. For those, I've been doing some lives recently. We're going to be interviewing Billy Catola tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. On Wednesday, we got Tim McBride. One of the largest pot haulers, traffickers of all time. He was on Concrete Podcast. That's what turned me on to him. Actually, George from the UK suggests I reach out to him. The following Monday, and then we got Mike Francis on Wednesday. I'm really excited about that. Oh, and we're doing a giveaway. Shit. We're doing a giveaway. See, I'm derelict of my duty. The form is here. So we're giving away 6 tickets. We're giving away 6 tickets. 3 pairs of tickets, so I don't want to misrepresent. We're going to give away 3 pairs of tickets to Mike Francis's talk in Atlantic City, November 19th at Resorts. Obviously, you got to be in Atlantic City to get it. You just got to pick them up at a roll call. The form is very simple, just a first name, last name that you can, you have to share that. So the roll call, they ask for ID and an email. That's it. And then if you get chosen, you'll be picked. I'll give you my information as well. I'll be in Atlantic City to meet Michael. I never met him in person. And I'd recommend getting a Mafia Democracy book. Maybe you could get to meet him. I think he's doing a meet and greet as well. I'm not sure if the giveaways include the meet and greet. I don't want to over represent that. But either way, it might be a chance for you to meet Mike. I'll be there. So maybe we could grab a little stick before and a scotch. All right, I'm gonna put these. Oh, these need more. These need more. That's because so I'm gonna be going with Farfalle sauce. Farfalle meatball. Farfalle pasta. I'm gonna make about 1 pound. It's only my wife and I. But what I do is I'll make some now and for dinner day, which is China Sunday dinner, and then at night I'll just eat some. Whatever. Okay. Let's see how the fantasy team is doing. Tom, did you get the jet wet when it does that? When the clip? Yes. That's that was probably it. It's probably the oil. So yikes! What the fuck happened? I was way ahead of my fantasy. Singletary did nothing. I got Herbert starting, and then Eckler is evidently having a big game at 18 points by the half quarter. So right now I'm a little bit of a rough shape, and the Bills' defense is getting killed. And I sat Dobbins, and yikes! You can't make this shit up. Do not come to me for fantasy picks. Great pairing. Thank you, D-Shaw. Get some Canada people on. I want to do more in Canada. I did. We just put a short up. I did an episode based on the real reason why George from Canada was killed. I have a really good contact there that I suspect was or is an associate. Obviously, speaks to me in anonymity. Because I don't want to know who he is. Because if I'm ever asked, I would never tell. But if I'm on the stand, I could be obstructed. And he gave me a lot about the bananas there. He's a funny guy. You got to call him and kind of set things up with him, and it's kind of hit or miss. but he won't come on. As for guys from Canada, the other thing is there's less pentiti, there's less informants from Canada, and the reason is one, there's no RICO laws there, so they don't face football numbers when they blow trial, and number two, it's still very Sicilian and Dragada, where if you rat, they'll kill your family. Like there's no, wife and children and honor and this and that. They'll fucking kill they'll kill your whole family. So as a result, they follow more the Italian rules. So there's less informants. The other thing is they're still making money. They're still in the drug trade. They're still making money. And why rat if you're making money? If you're not facing big numbers for RICO, why rat? The other thing is, I would like to have Selvin Robb on though. I don't know if he's Canadian, but I know he talked about what was it, the 6 family? Was that him? I know he did the 5 families. But stay tuned. I would love to do more Canada. That's what I'm kind of getting at. 6 tickets to the Lions game, right? Hey Xavier, how are you, buddy? Great seeing you. Chargers are playing Texans. Yeah, well, I have Herbert, which I was hoping they'd light him up, which he's doing okay. But but I'm also playing against Eckler, which I guess on the ground he's got some touchdowns, so I get no points for the ground. Hey, Lucky, ciao. So if anybody want to come in, Tommy or anybody, Big G, anybody want to pop in, I'm gonna I dropped a link there for you guys. I left the link for the Mike Francis event, giving 6 tickets away. Maybe you're from out of the area. There's an airport in Atlantic City, and flights, man, are so cheap right now. So if you're out of New Jersey, you don't need to be in New Jersey. You're the tri-state area to go. Mike, 70, respectfully. I don't think he ever really spoke in Atlantic City. If he has, it's been a minute. And I don't know if he's ever going back. I mean, how much gas does he have left in the tank, respectfully? So that's kind of why I'm putting a lot of manpower behind this. We're actually going to do the interview on the New Theory channel. It's a long story, and then we'll feature it on the Armchair NBA. And then it's also collaboration with New Jersey Digest because he's going to be speaking in New Jersey. So that's who we're doing the giveaway with is New Jersey Digest. Yeah, I would love Selvin Robb. Oh, and we just secured so Catolo, Francis, Tim McBride, Lou DeVita, and then we just secured Anthony DeStefano. Great author. I read his book on the Lufthansa heist. There are a lot of questions about that. He kind of screwed me up on a few guys that we'll talk about on the interview. November 19th, Mark B. So he's going to be there for a talk. If you sign up here, I'm going to pick three pairs of people that win. So if you win 2 tickets. Now, if somebody's cool, they're like, hey, listen, I'm going solo, or just whatever reason, I only need 1 ticket. That'll go back into the kitty. So there may be more than 3 pairs, meaning like there may be like 6 individual. I don't know, but I'm going to give them away in pairs. I'd like to think people want to go with their significant other or a friend. It's a pretty dope event. But November 19th at Resorts, you click that link to sign up. If you don't win, the guy, I'm going to give him all the emails. I'll probably market to you a little bit and get the tickets on your own. But nevertheless, oh my God, I love the fat. Well, no. You guys do anything with this fat? Sometimes I'll put in the sauce. But I heard you're not supposed to. I heard this was like the natural fat from the meat. I don't know. You guys tell me. Okay, so I'm getting my boil. So I'm going to put the pound of the farfalle in. That's also known as bow tie pasta. $2.39. If you guys remind me, it's supposed to be about a 7-minute cook. Okay, move it around so it doesn't stick together. Okay, now let me test one of the meatballs. I'm an impatient guy. Okay, let's see. Okay. Got to test out one of that meatball. Okay. I don't have Parmesan. I'm so pissed. Let's see. Needs a little more time to cook, but it's delicious. It's really delicious. And Big Bones, thank you for encouraging me to oh my god. That's so good. Gotta get it, trust me, it's so good. Okay. I always like to mix the pasta in the beginning because I know all like clutters and the sticks, especially farfalle and spaghetti. Those are the two that I think kind of clump together. No one cares about Ivan. I gotta tell you something. You're gonna see a big difference in the channel, and I think it's to everybody's benefit. So only 6% of people speak English as a primary language, right? Which is like 400 million people, whatever that is, right? It's not as much as you think. No, wait, I'm sorry. 6% of the world's population. I think it's like 420 million, right? Now, then there's 10% of the world's population speak English as a primary or secondary. A lot of people consume their content in the primary language, right? So if I'm doing like all English stuff, all American stuff, I want to go bigger, right? I'm only hitting 6% of the world's audience. So there's a big appetite for mafia history. Not in Italy, believe it or not. Not Italy. In Australia, Canada, still North America, Canada, UK, and other certain parts of Europe. They just love to consume content. And they not only love American mafia stuff, but they also love Italian mafia stuff, which is a totally different ballgame. That's why I interviewed Salvarina, and you're going to start seeing a lot more international stuff. I interviewed Pablo Escobar's wife. So don't get me wrong, we're still going to do a lot of this stuff out of New York. That's given, right? But 4 more minutes. That's given, but it's you'd be surprised. And most of the audience. So I'm in New Jersey. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut is probably only like 10%, not even 10%, like 8% of my total audience. We're about to hit 15,000 subs. We may hit it today. And only like 8%. You'd be surprised. A lot from the Nordic countries as well. So Ivan, I don't like to get pushback all the time, but in that case, I'm telling you, it's a lot bigger. Now, in terms of activity, it's mostly out of New York and the US. I like the kitchen episode. Hey, JC, how are you, buddy? Yeah, so I'm doing a 3-meat meatball, which the sauce is simmering. Just show you that again. That's boiling there with farfalle. My son, I'm going to check on my son because my wife's outside. Let me see, make sure my son's not up. Hey, Tim's. Hey, buddy. Hey, Bella. Hey, Bella. Hey, Bella. Thomas Jr. just woke up. Let me let my wife know. I want to do this correctly. Okay. All right, so that's cooking there. So this is where I always kind of screw up. I always make one thing like first over the other. So the pasta should be ready in about 3 minutes. And the meatball needed a little bit more when I taste it. It tastes really good, but I needed like a little bit more. Let me put a little more salt on the sauce, just a little bit, just a smidge. And then I want like some type of green in there, like oregano, ideally. Let me see if you do. Actually, basil. So un po' di basil, a little bit of basil. Just gonna sprinkle in to the sauce. Okay. And who knows if you go to the Francis thing, whether you win the tickets or you or you go on your own time. Maybe we can meet up for a nice cigar, a little scotch. Man, for me, more bourbon these days. I don't really drink that much anymore. Mrs. NBA should be there. You get to meet Jocelyn. And maybe we could chop it up. Like I said, if I'm there, if you come with me, I should be able to get you to see Mike. I do plan on meeting him. I want him to sign my Mafia Democracy book in the middle of reading that. Oh my God. So good. Oh my God. Okay. So that's, oh my God, I wish you guys could taste this. I wish like the metaverse, you could just like put it out there and then people can taste it. All right. I know it's not ready, but just in case, I'll try one. No, I'm not ready. Now, I always say I want to cook it for 7 minutes, but that's not always the case. We need Bob. Yeah, so Big G. I'm in Boston Halloween weekend. So I'm gonna send you your jar, and if it works out, if you want to meet at the North End, would love to. I gotta let Bobby know. If you talk to Bobby, or I don't know if you talk to Bobby on a regular basis, or talk to Bobby, let him know I'm gonna be there holiday weekend. I'll let Bobby know. I'd love to interview him again and spend some time in the North End. Stanze de Sagade is my favorite place in Boston. My favorite place by far. All right. So this is cooking nicely. Almost there. Look how delicious. Look how. Now that's sexy. Okay. Let me get the colander ready. All right. So I got the colander ready. No, I'm at Mafia. Oh, God, yeah. I got you, guys. Yeah, no, 90%. No, that 90% of people have interest in that. Yeah, that I agree with you. I don't care. Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, so what do you ask? 100%. Tom is correct about the marketplace. Give this push much more people overseas. U.S. content. Yeah. So yeah. There's it's a big world out there. All right. Okay. You see. Then maybe do a little cartel stuff as well. I'm trying to get Javier Pena. He was one of the original guys on the DA stuff. If you saw Narcos, Pena from Narcos, pretty much number 1/2 guy on that case for the DEA. One of my guests has a good relationship with him, and he said he might be able to get him on. So stay tuned. All right, that's weird. You're getting blocked. So we're getting spammed officially. Well, in Harvard Beach. Oh no, 100%. Go to Mateo's on any given day. Yeah, 100%. Oh, it's still out there. Even the old gold gym should go there and do interviews. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to do interviews in Howard Beach about current Cosa Nostra. Pretty good. Just a little bit more. Although I like it al dente, a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I like to, anybody knows me, I like to look at the business aspect of it. I try to, and the historical aspect, I try not to judge. Obviously, they're going to do what they're going to do. Kind of like an historian / podcast. You like a little al dente beer? Okay. All right, I'll give it another minute or so. Sorry. Look at this mess. It's going to kill me. She is a OCD meat freak. All right. What are you guys eating today? Drop a link. Let us know what you're eating today. For those that just came in, sto cucinando farfalle. I'm making farfalle pasta, the bow ties. I should probably usually go like this. But you're almost ready. Oh, here we go. Got a little straggler. I think it's ready. Got the sauce and the meatballs going. 3 meat meatballs. And siamo pronti. Okay. Careful, babe. I'm going to move the water. Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little shit for, and I don't care. So I take the farfalle, I put it back in. Okay. 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 So now, here's what I do. Don't give me shit for this. Big thing of butter. Mix it in. And then some olive oil. So put the butter, the olive oil. Make sure the butter is melted evenly across. A little bit of salt. Okay. Okay, so a little salt. Okay, now, this is what I don't understand why everybody doesn't do. I get some of the sauce. Hey, hold on. I get the sauce and I mix it in. Why? So when I serve it, it's already mixed in the middle. The worst is when you have sauce made and you just put it on top and you eat it and there's nothing in the center. So what I do is I put a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. So if somebody likes light sauce, they don't have to put any additional sauce on it. If somebody wants to have, okay. I'm going to serve this in a bowl because I want to capture everything evenly in terms of like the experience. And here you have it. Farfalle pasta with 3 meatball alla vecchia. Only took 50 minutes. Pros, it would have took about 10. But nevertheless, it's not about economy and efficiency. It's about taste. Let me make mine. Maybe someday we can have a person one get together with the armchair community. Okay. Okay. Here is mine. Oh, Chloe! Our beautiful daughter's here just in time. I said no one cares if my fiance is here. That's true. Tell them let's see a little Italian bread you're working with. You know what? Honestly, and it's bad preparation on my part. I did not have the baguette or the Italian available. I'm terrible. I had no Parmesan and no bread. So Uncle D, I failed on that one. It does look amazing. It looks good. Mamma Mia, cooks and all. I try, brother. Big G, yeah, Tom, I'll text Bobby, let him know. Halloween weekend, all weekend. She'll all meet up, have a good dinner. So Friday to Sunday, I'll be there for the conference. So during the day, I'll be a little busy. At night, let's have some dinner and some nice cigars. I'm losing all my picks. Yeah, my fantasy's not going so great. So listen, farfalle pasta with 3 carne, beef, pork, and veal. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys real soon. We have a big week for the podcast. Again, we have 3 interviews, including Francis Catolo and Tim McBride. And hopefully this Salvo interview will be released this week. So arguably probably one of the biggest weeks for the channel. Stay tuned. I appreciate the support. If you want to support the channel, you can always hit a thanks on the rerun or any shows. There's a Cash App link if you want to sponsor there. I'm currently funding everything right now. I'm happy to do it. I believe in the brand. I believe in what we're doing, but it doesn't hurt to have help in the community. Also, it's Italian American Month, Heritage Month. The store features Italia shirts, Acilia shirts, Abruzzo, all different places. If you want to contribute to this podcast and celebrate Italian American Month, let me type the URL here. Store. Help support the channel. So that's the link for the store. A whole bunch of stuff there. Help celebrate Italian American Month. I'm in the process of moving from what's that called? Shopify over to WordPress. So a lot of this stuff is going to be discontinued. So if you like the designs, there are homemade personal designs. My designer and my team made it. Make sure you get it. Yeah, we do. We do. This is made with homemade sauce, and we jar it every year. This happens to be a year that we did it. Love it from the box. Excellent. Send to left. Big G, thank you. Talk to you soon. And thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.